Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the last video, we started to talk about the makharij of the huruf and the 5 main areas where the makharij come from. This is the first video to talk about makharij specifically for letters. And the first makhraj we will be talking about today is Al-Jawf, which means the cavity or the emptiness of the throat and the mouth. Now there are 3 letters that come from that makhraj of the Jawf. We will define them, talk about the mechanism of how they're produced, and what are some of the common mistakes that happen when they're pronounced. So the 3 letters that come out of this makhraj are the alif, the waw maddiyah, and the ya maddiyah. Now in all 3, when we say it comes out from the Jawf, it comes out from the emptiness of the throat and the mouth, and the sound just flows smoothly through without hitting anything. A, E, U. So you can see the sound comes through from that empty area without hitting anything on the way out. With all 3 of the letters, the vocal cords vibrate and that makes the sound. But the most important difference between all 3 of them is what happens with the tongue and the lips. So with the alif, that's quite simple. The tongue is in a relaxed, neutral position, nothing special. With the oo, the waw maddiyah, the tongue is slightly elevated at the back, but that comes naturally with the letter oo. But the most important point here is the lips. When we say oo, we have to round the lips. That's the only correct method to say ooh. So if we say ooh, that's not a wow. So you'll hear some people say al-maghdubi. That's not the correct pronunciation of the wow. The lips have to be rounded for the wow to come out with the correct sound. Al-maghdubi. You have to round the lips with the wow. And the ya, the 3rd letter from this makhraj, with the ya, the middle of the tongue goes upwards towards the middle of the palate. E, simple. E. So once again, alif mad, the lisan is in a natural, neutral position. The waw, the lips are the most important point where the lips have to be rounded. Oo, E, the ya slightly goes, with the ya, the tongue, the middle of the tongue goes towards the top of the palate. E, and the sound is very simple and easy to make. So that's the first 2 points. What is the makhraj of the Jawf and the 3 letters that come from that makhraj. The 3rd point is the technical definition of the 3 huruf of mad. So we call the huruf of mad the waw maddiyah, or the waw that has a sukoon and there's a dhamma on the letter before it. A sukoon and a dhamma on the letter before it. For example, maghdubi, maghdu. The ya is a ya which has a sukoon on top of it and a kasra on the letter before it. And the alif is an alif which has a sukoon. So why do we say a waw with a sukoon with a dhamma before it? Because there's a different waw which comes from a different makhraj, which is the waw which has a sukoon with a fatha before it. Let's take 2 words in the same surah. In the ayah which says الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُم مِّن جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُم مِّن خَوْفٍ. So جُوعٍ, this waw has a sukoon and is preceded by a dhamma. جُوعٍ, that's a harf mad. وَآمَنَهُم مِّن خَوْفٍ. خَوْفٍ, the waw has a sukoon, but the letter before it has a fatha. That's not a waw maddiyah. Same with the ya. The ya which has a sukoon and a kasra before it is a ya maddiyah. When we say وَلَضَّالِّينَ, the ya has a sukoon and the lam before it has a kasra, so that's a ya maddiyah. But there's another ya in the word عَلَيْهِمْ. This ya has a sukoon and the letter before it, layhim, has a fatha. That's not a ya maddiyah. The alif, on the other hand, always has to have a sukoon. The alif maddiyah always has to have a sukoon, and it's always preceded by a fatha. So let's summarize once again the key points. The Jawf means the empty space of the throat and the mouth. The 3 letters that come from the Jawf are the alif, the waw maddiyah, and the ya maddiyah. The most important points when pronouncing these letters: a, natural; u is around the lips; e, the tongue in the middle goes towards the top of the palate. And we defined the difference between a waw maddiyah and a different waw, which we'll talk about later, and a ya maddiyah and a different ya. The waw maddiyah has a sukoon with a dhamma before it. The ya maddiyah has a sukoon with a kasra before it. And the alif always has a sukoon with a fatha before it. And that summarizes the makhraj of the Jawf. We'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.